Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology. We'll be continuing the Vietnam single missions again. And this time it's going to be another mission from the North Vietnamese perspective. Even odds. Hanoi Air Base, date July 21st, 1967. Local time, 10:30 hours. Weather, cloud cover. Situation. On July 21st, 1967, during a large Alpha strike aimed at NVAF fuel assets northeast of Hanoi, 8 F-8s encountered 8 MiG-17s. The 7-minute battle resulted in 3 confirmed kills and 1 probable on the MiG-17s. 2 F-8s were damaged, none lost. Mission objective. You are one of the 8 North Vietnamese MiG-17 pilots charged with intercepting the incoming F-8s. You must destroy the assigned aircraft in order to be successful. Order of battle, recommended aircraft MiG-17, recommended weapons 23mm and 30mm cannon, threat suppression data, ground opposition none, air opposition F-8Js. So we see we have a flight of 4 MiG-17s. I don't see the other flight of MiG-17s on the map, so I don't know where they're coming in. You can see the Butler is there as always. And so we'll start with that. Now, an Alpha Strike is basically a term for basically when you're doing a strike with a carrier. An Alpha Strike is when you throw all of your aircraft, or just about all of them, into one massive strike. Or at least that's generally what the term is used for. Now, you'll notice when flying the MiG-17, we do not have radar. So we also have no flare and no chaff. So we have to rely entirely on ground control intercept, which is telling us the nearest bandits is at 11 o'clock high. And those... So we're basically waiting for them to come in visual range. That's all we can do is visual range dogfighting. So we have no sensors of any kind. It's a very basic fighter. At 10 o'clock high. Where are they? There they are. But those are not the ones we want. We want these guys behind us who are about to light us up. Which would be these guys. So it's going to be a head-on pass. Even odds right now if they get behind. Okay, we hit 2 of them good, but we didn't knock them completely out of the fight yet. So hopefully our wingman can finish a couple of those guys off quick. Yeah, they got one. Woo! Where that guy almost hit us. Yeah, one on us. More of these we clear out, the easier time our wingman will have with helping us. There's another one. Now we gotta be careful with our fuel. We do not have the reserves of American planes. You see we have only 5,000 pounds plus our external fuel tanks. Here's bandit, 1 o'clock. I guess we'll... move in to help. I didn't hear mission success, so we didn't hit the Crusader we had to. There we go. Well, let's see what we can do with the rest of these F-8s now. Next bandit. No bandits found. Alright. So we will order our crew to disengage. And we will finish out our wave. Actually, we won't. We're just going to go home. Now, the MiG-17, as you can see, is a very... I don't know if I mentioned this already. I forgot in the confusion dogfight. But it's a very basic fighter. We have no IR sensor, no radars, no harm, no flares, no chaff. We're lucky we even have a radar warning receiver. I don't even know if I do not know if they would have had them. Maybe some of the later models, but probably not the earlier ones. And the MiG-17 was a direct follow-on to the MiG-15 of Korean War vintage and fame. And the early models, as I mentioned in my previous Let's Plays, were very much just improved MiG-15. The later models actually were the first Soviet fighters capable of going Mach 1 in level flight with the afterburner. At least I think they were. At the very least, I know the later models had an afterburner. And the MiG-19 for sure was capable of going Mach 1 in level flight, or exceeding it even. And the MiG-19 was the final evolution of the MiG-15 series, and it was built on the MiG-17, and I believe the MiG-19 actually did. I think that one may have finally included a short-range radar. At the very least, I know they had radar gun sights. I believe the MiG-17 did as well. But that's all it was used for, was to range out whatever's in front of you. It wasn't used for detection. And the reason Soviet fighters didn't have great radar, especially in the early era, is because they, you'll notice that on the MiG-15 through the MiG-21, as well as the Su-7, Su-9, I think, the Su-11, I want to say, in the point, basically the fitters, the Flagon? No, Fishpot. Fishpot is basically the Sukhoi clone of the MiG-21 that was purely for the Soviets and not for anyone else. It was supposed to be like a high-performing interceptor. You'll notice that the air intakes for their engine are mounted centrally along the axis, right, where the nose is. So that doesn't leave you a lot of the nose to actually use for radar equipment. And they changed that finally with the MiG-23, which had intakes on the side rather than on the nose, and that allowed them to have more room on the nose for radar. And so the MiG-23 was more or less the F-4 Phantom's equal, somewhat. And in that it was the first MiG to actually have decent radar that was capable of seeing more than a mile or two in front of you, and it could use radar-guided missiles. Now that right here, this is the GCI radar I was talking about earlier. It's not letting me click on it right now, but that's the radar that's providing our ground control intercept functions. So let's see. So we're down a fifth of our fuel, and we started in the air with full fuel. Now, I don't think the MiG-17 was capable of in-air refueling. So that one, I think we're just going to let that one go. But we'll go in for our... We have all three of our guys made it. Now maybe we'll... Nope, it still doesn't want to let me click on. Well, we'll get it in a bit. So they want us to land on the inner runway. Let's go a little more to the right. I feel like our descent rate is too high right now. Yeah, you can see how we're... I think the MiG-17 was a bit underpowered. We'll just use the afterburner to gain some altitude real quick. We'll line up a little bit better. And we barely made it. Yeah, even though all the aircraft generally use the same flight model, they're all, which is what separates this from a true flight simulator. They are all tweaked so that way they perform similarly to their real counterparts, not to the same degree necessarily as, say, DCS. But that does mean there is some getting used to whenever you fly a new aircraft. So we're just going to taxi along. Here we can probably just take this road. And now you can actually see that GCI radar real good. We're going to roll on the grass here because I was distracted. And I have no idea where our fellow MiG pilots are going to want to go to. So for now, we're just going to park ourselves out of the way here and get tripped out by the textures on this tarmac as they swish and swirl. Okay. So we'll watch all of our wingmen come in now. Actually, we can get a better view by going here. And actually, this should let me get a good view. There we go. So now typically there's got to be like some sort of, that's just the radar. There's got to be a command system associated with it. I guess maybe in the tower, but we aren't really seeing that here. So they're going to taxi to the other runway, or to the other tarmac, which is fine. So they're going to park in front of those storage units there, and we can see there comes the next MiG. And the next one should be coming. Actually, I think that would be the last one should be coming in. I don't see him yet, because we have two there, we have us. There's got to be one more. There he is. And there he goes. And we're going to follow him over to the proper tarmac, and we can get a close-up on the AAA here for once and not have it shoot at us. And they're all taking off again for unknown reasons, so I'm going to tell them to bug out. North Vietnam gets the best music in this game, or some of the best. I like the traditional music that they play. That's kind of like a really bad MIDI rock, but oh man, bug out. But this jazz, it's just so nice and a good change of pace. Throttle to center ourselves out, and they should be back in a minute. They have next to no fuel. Yeah. There's one of them, and we need to. Why is he taking off again? I don't know, so And he crashed because he ran out of fuel and wanted to take off again. And there goes another one. So I guess it's just us two. Oh, not even. Because he's also decided he wants to crash. I don't know what weird bug of the AI that is, but I think we're going to end the mission here before he goes off and suicides himself. Debrief. Hanoi Air Base. Date, July 21st, 1967. Mission, even odds. Resolution, success. The Soviet trainer is very pleased with your performance. Mission outcome, success. Destroyed the 4 targets. And we have 2 of those kills, and our wingmen have 2 of those kills, so. Soviet Russia, you trainer. But in all seriousness, that's it for that episode now. And that leaves us with 3 single missions left before we can get into the meat and bones of another good campaign. So, I'll see you then.